So Justin, the long-haired Mac Daddy pussyface of Canada, Trudeau, has just made a speech making an official government apology to victims and survivors of the residential school system. And during the speech, he just starts crying uncontrollably. A weird little, and it wasn't even a cry, it was like a murmur. It was like, I'm sorry that happened. Never happen again. I mean, if y'all have ever heard of the song Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, that's how it sounded. A man in the mirror. It just sounds creepy, weird. But the difference is that Justin, the long-haired pussyface Mac Daddy, he is not the late great Michael Jackson. He is a macking donkey, mentally ill moron who this is like his 5th time crying as prime minister. He has cried over everything. Some say it's fake crying, some say it's real crying. I don't know, I don't care, but I mean, if he's trying to win over Canadians with crying, that says more about us than him. But, you know, I'm not criticizing men who cry. You know, I don't cry a lot. I don't. I'm sorry. I'll say I don't cry. I don't cry. I haven't cried in years. The last time I cried was when my grandmother died because I was very close with her. I'm not a very emotional person. I'm a very stone cold person. There's only 2 emotions I have. Anger and happiness. That's it. I just don't cry. It's just weird when men cry, though. But when you cry over everything, that's when it becomes a problem. And when you're crying to try and mack the country, like he's doing, he's macking the country. He's trying to pimp this country with his tears. That's when it's a problem to me. Now, nobody can tell me that what happened with the natives was something terrible. I know. I'm part native. Not from a Canadian native tribe, but from Central America. And the natives who lived in Central America, I'm part of that. That's in my blood. That runs through my veins. I know about what natives have gone through. I know what black folk have gone through too. Because on my paternal side, we were not enslaved. Nobody knows that, but we were not enslaved. The Garifuna people from Central America were the only blacks on this whole continent who were never, ever enslaved. Because when we came here, and some say that we came on our own, like before even the Europeans, we came on little boats. Some say that, but we most likely came via the Spanish, hence my name, Arana. We came, and once we arrived, we linked up with the native population. We just destroyed the Spanish. We burnt their food. We destroyed their ships. We put snakes in their uniform. We were just mean to the Spanish, and they feared us. The Europeans feared Garifuna, and it means black people with Caribbean native in them, Arawak, Carib, and we just moved off into the mountains and we produced children and we created prosperity. We created tribes and nations. We were living in peace, prosperity, and harmony. And when the British came a few years later, we beat them too. I know about the native strife. My family, on my father's side, have been living in North America since the 1600s. And the natives even longer. So I know. But, you know, crying, especially when you have a record of just crying over everything. This guy just cries over everything. I mean, he's a crybaby. He's a little pussy crybaby. And when he cries, notice his eyes. They get so red. It looks like he has some sexually transmitted disease or when he cries like that, or something like that, or herpes. I don't know, but that's what it looks like. Or pink eye. That's what I'm thinking of. Like, he has pink eye when he cries. I think it's because Trudeau never really knew his father that well, Pierre Trudeau. Now, even if he did, it probably wouldn't make a difference because Pierre Trudeau was the biggest cuckold in Canada. His wife opened up her legs to every rich man in the world. Fidel Castro, Ted Kennedy, the guy from Jordan, the Jordanian king. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, she opened up her big smelly pussy to everyone, and she was messed up. She was a floozy. She was a harlot. She was on drugs, and that's the kind of person Justin was around. That's why he's so messed up. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with hanging out with your mother. You know, I hang out with my mother all the time. I love hanging out with my mother. I was hanging out with her today. We went Black Friday shopping. Now, and I don't usually go shopping, and I've never been Black Friday shopping, and I always said I would never go Black Friday shopping because I hate shopping to begin with. I hate the horror stories that I've heard, and especially going shopping with my mom because she takes so damn long in the store. But we went because I haven't seen her in a while, and I missed her, and I want to, you know, spend time with my family before I have to go back. And it was just a nice time. But Justin Trudeau does not have the mother that I have. A straight-laced, smart, level-headed, successful woman. Justin's mother was a floozy. She was a crazy, mixed up floozy. And that's the type of genetics that Justin has. Now, it wouldn't make a difference whether it was Pierre, because Pierre was also kind of a weirdo too. I mean, he was also a cuck. I mean, he let his wife get with every man on the planet, and you know, he stuck with it. Was her who probably divorced him. It was her who left him and said, I can't take this anymore. I mean, he was beating her too. He slapped her up. He beat the shit out of her. And it's well documented too that Trudeau's brothers had to hold back Pierre to stop him from punching his wife in the face. But, you know, she ended up leaving him. But that's the type of person Justin is now. And people always say that this whole gender debate, you know, transgender, trans this, tranny that. I believe that if you're a man, you're a man. You were born a man, you are a man. That's it. There's no question. It's a mental illness to think that you're a woman if you're a man. It's a mental illness. I'm going to be the first to say, if you're offended, then, you know, go on. I think that Justin the pussy face, true, and his face looks like a pussy, doesn't it? I mean, the shape, I know what pussy looks like. He has the shape of a pussy. It's just, and it's not a nice pussy either. It's like an old, wrinkly, worn out, past its due date pussy. I mean, that's what his face looks like. I think he was born a woman. I think so. He acts like a woman. He sounds like a woman. He talks like a woman. He sits like a woman. The way he sits, when he's sitting next to Trump opens up his legs. He spreads his legs because of balls. Men usually sit with their legs spread because they have balls. Trudeau sits like the Queen of England. His legs are closed. I mean, doesn't this guy have balls? Doesn't he have a dick? I mean, aren't his balls in pain when he does that?